Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Austin, this is GR86, and this is my 2023 base Toyota GR86. Now, if you guys have driven a new BRZ, if you've driven a new GR86, I need your guys' advice, I need your guys' help. Let me jump into exactly what I'm needing your guys' help with and advice on. But if you've driven this car on the track, if you've had a test drive this, if you've driven this car around, if you've rode in it, I need your guys' opinions because I want to make sure I'm not too over the top on this. If you guys are new to my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and let's get after it. All right, so this is a video that I really debated on making. I have wanted a GR86 for a long time. I came close to buying our BRZ. Over the last couple of years, I've talked about this car as a car that I've wanted. I think this car looks so good. But I need your guys' help. I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I want to make sure that I'm looking at this the right way and just not overreacting to something. But if you guys have had a chance to drive this platform, if you've had a chance to drive the BRZ, this video is for you. I need your guys' advice. I need your thoughts. So one thing that I've kind of noticed with this car, I'm past the break-in period. I'm about 1,100 miles, 1,200 miles. And I realize it takes a while for motors to break in. I realize this car still probably is breaking in even after 1,000 miles. But as I've been able to more aggressively drive this car, I've had a lot more thoughts come to me, and this is where the advice comes in of what I need you guys for. So as you guys know, with this platform, the previous generation of this car had a massive torque dip, like huge torque dip, a ton of rev hang. They eliminated a big chunk of the torque dip. You'll see on a lot of the graphs for this car. Inside, there's a graph that kind of shows your horsepower, shows your torque, shows all of that. And you'll notice that there still is a dip as you look at it and as you are driving the car. And there still is some rev hang, or at least for me, from the cars that I'm used to driving, there's still some rev hang there. But the thing that has really kind of got me off guard a little bit is peak torque on this car peaks at about 4,000 RPM, and then peak horsepower, I think, is north of 6,000 RPM. So from the 4,000 range to the 6,000 range in RPM, this car just feels so dead to me. It just feels so flat. It feels like it's making a lot of noise. It feels like it's really winding out, but it's not really doing anything. Now, I have times I drive this car and it feels amazing, and I'm like, oh no, it's just enough power. It's a lightweight car. This is what it is. I'm not expecting this car to be a 300, 400, 500 horsepower car, compare it to any cars like that. And maybe it's, you know, with the AC on and it's just robbing power of the car. I drive this car sometimes and I'm really disappointed in the power band of the car. I know with the Toyotas, they did a little bit different tuning than the Subarus. Subaru didn't have as much kind of bite down low or torque down low or power down low. It's kind of a little bit more linear. And the GR86, they put a lot more, I think, from their tune, from what I understand, and if I'm wrong, that's fine, guys, correct me below, the torque is a little bit more down low. It's a little bit more punchy off the line. But I've had a hard time with how this car is tuned, because down low in first gear, you have enough torque. You know, it'll burn the tires. It'll kind of not burn the tires. It'll squeal the tires, right? And it'll get out from you a little bit. Once you get up past the 4,000 RPM, it's like no one's home. And then 6,000 RPM, you get a little bit more power. I've really struggled with how the car is tuned. I know a tune could fix that. It's just that kind of flat spot from 4,000 to 6,000 and above that I'm just kind of disappointed in the car. And I have days I drive it, I like it. And I have days I drive it and I'm like, this is overrated. So guys, if you've driven this car, if you have had a test drive in this car am I crazy in my assessments of it? You know, sometimes when I'm driving off from a stoplight or taking off and the AC's on, like I really have to rev up the car quite a bit to not stall it or to just kind of smoothly be able to take off. And I don't like riding the clutch like that. I'm not used to driving like that. And sometimes, you know, in shifting the car, it'll kind of lurch because I'm used to like literally no rev hang in the cars that I've owned. And I'm not saying the rev hang in this car is bad. From what I understand, it's way better than what it used to be. However, there's still some rev hang, and I've just had a hard time driving it smooth. It shifts really good. It shifts smoother than my WRX, and the throws are shorter. I've liked that. I have no complaints from how the car shifts. It's really fun and play happy, tail happy, where the back end can kick out. I've found when I drive the car with traction control all the way off in track mode, just completely disabled all of, you know, the nannies, all of the tech, I'm more happy with the car than just normal driving it. And so I don't know if like the fall time coming around and I don't have to use my AC, I'll like it more. But I realize some of those things impact power, right? If the car is struggling for traction, it will, you know, obviously cut power to make sure that the car is stable and not moving around. But where I have a hard time is just more with the tune of the car. From 4,000 RPM to 6,000 RPM, I really don't like it. It just feels meh. It just feels kind of bland. It just kind of feels like it's making a lot of noise and it's not like really going anywhere. So guys, I'm totally open to if I have this wrong, if maybe I am just overreacting. I'm not expecting this car to be my Camaro or a Challenger or Mustang or Super, anything like that. For the money, this car is just absolutely amazing. And I love how this car looks. It looks awesome. And I just have been a little disappointed in the tune that they put on these cars. I love all the RPM that it has to wind out. That's fun, but a couple thousand of those RPM are useless for me, and I'm not overly crazy about it. So I'm not saying I absolutely hate the car. It's not that. I love the looks of this. I think with some clear tail lights, with lowering it and some different wheels, this car looks amazing. I'm not really a fan of the base wheels on this car, but as I've driven it, I don't know. And especially as I'm past the break-in period, I just haven't liked it. And maybe, just maybe guys, as the motor breaks in more, this will be a lot smoother. It'll be a lot better. I don't know, guys. I've had this kind of very multiple personality disorder with this car. Sometimes I drive it and I'm like, oh, it's perfect. I love how this is. And other times I drive it, I don't know. It kind of feels like it falls flat on its face. And for what the car is, a lightweight sports car with the horsepower it does, it's awesome. And also sometimes like I get a little nervous just about this motor in general. I mean, the RTV is a legit issue. I think it's mainly an issue for people who are tracking it and you're taking right-hand turns, and you know, they've done some search on it. There's some great videos out there on it, but sometimes when the car's just idling, it just sounds like metal on metal. I don't know. It just doesn't give me a lot of confidence. My WRX, a lot different story, I feel like. But for whatever reason with this car, the horsepower, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. So if you guys have driven this car, I'm not going to keep rambling on in this video. I just want to let you guys know, if you're buying this car, test drive it if you can. And that's the thing that sucks in today's world, is you really can't test drive anything. I test drove a blue BRZ last December, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. If you guys have driven both a GR86 and a BRZ, how is the difference in power? Does it feel the same? I'm not expecting more horsepower, just the tune is different. And that's what I want to make my point very clear with this video, is the tune on this car. I'm not overly crazy about how it's tuned, and I know it's vastly better than the prior generation, and some of you are just going to say, Austin, you're crazy. But if I'm not, leave a comment below. Thank you guys for watching. I have deleted the carbon air filter, so I don't have any mods other than my axle back exhaust. But if you have any help out there for me, any thoughts, any advice, please let me know. I'm Austin. This is my 2023 Toyota GR86. This is Gone in 60. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.
Get on in the car, one time give it all. I fucked up, this was so big, we hustle. The love